Here we go. Old Ramblin' Red coming back at you. This video here is going to be on little tricks and making it easier on scaling. I probably made a video about this already, but we're going to do it again. And the reason being, I'm sitting here and I tried helping the gentleman because he'd already been on the scale 3 times, going back for the 4th time. I warned the driver pulling a Dollar General trailer, one of them lift gates. I took his first weight and his second weight, and we subtracted the trailer, and it gave us the amount on each hole. So he took that number, and the very last scale ticket he had, he needed to move it X amount of holes. And that's the 3rd. He's about ready to jump on for the 4th time. I told him, well, here's how much each hole weighs. You're going to need to move it backward, move your tandems back or your trailer forward 2 holes. So we did. He jumped on. And I told him, regardless, each hole, no matter what you got on the trailer, whether the trailer's loaded or empty, each one of these holes is this amount. His was a little different than mine. The brand of the trailer was different, and the distance of the holes. His was a little closer. I think it was 200 and something, almost 300 pounds. And I don't know what he did, but he went ahead and jumped back on the scale, and then he come back around again. He was on that scale a total of 6 times. He parked over here. I just shaking my head. He was about ready to jump on that scale again for the 7th time. And he looked over and he noticed I was looking at him. And he veered off to the right. I could see the entrance of the scale right here. I'm in the Petro in San Antonio. And he took off and got on the frontage road and went east. But you take all that time, when you got these E-logs, utilize your knowledge of how much weight each one of those holes. You move it 1 hole this way or 1 hole that way, or 2 holes or 3 holes or whatever. It's nice to know exactly how much each one of those holes are. You, like mine, I got a scale in the truck and a scale on the trailer. Now, when I'm pushing 80,000 pounds, I'll jump on the scale just to make sure my scales are right. But when you don't have that, you got a guy. He must be going to trade trailers with this guy. You jump on the scale the first time, you got your weight. Now you already know from previous times of getting your numbers. Now all you need, let's say it's 1,100 pounds. Let's say each hole is 400 pounds. You move it 3 holes. There's your 1,200 pounds. There's 1,200. It's 100 more. And if you want to be, make sure you're, it's accurate. Jump on the scale 1 more time. Boom, you're done. Just to make sure. And then yeah, this guy is just, you know, and I blame training. You know, there's a guy that was loading up there in Iowa where I did, and he unloaded down here where I did. They had two loads coming down here. Uh, that guy was having a hell of a time backing in up there, and it was pretty wide. Now down here, it's a little narrower. You got up there, you probably got 10 to 12 feet between the doors, and it's wide open out front. And he was having a hard time. And once we got down here, then they was backing him in right next to me. His appointment was like an hour after mine, but they didn't get me until later than what they should have or normally do. And so when they backed him in, he was having a hard time. He couldn't even get his doors, hardly get his doors open. But like I said, it's training. And Warner, they do training and stuff, but the guys that they're training, some of them guys haven't even been in their own trucks for 6 months. Like this guy here that I'm referring to, but you know, me helping him back in. They this guy had been out of. He'd only been driving for 2 weeks. The company's out of called Prime something out of Michigan. He'd only been out of school for 2 weeks. You know, so I really didn't blame him, you know. I helped him. I'll help anybody. But it's these companies. And, you know, the guy that was backing in next to me there, he took direction real good. Like this guy here, he didn't. And then again, I think some of it's a trust issue, like this guy here with this scale. It's ultimately your license. So, but if you can't distinguish good and bad advice or help, something's wrong. Like I said, get your first weight, get your second weight, do the math on it, divided by the amount of holes that you moved it. That's how much each one of your holes weigh. That way, the next time you weigh your truck. Because before I got my scales on this truck, I always weighed it one time. Moved it that many holes, and off I went. So you guys have a good day. Keep the rubber side down, shiny side up. And as usual, like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe, by God.